Hey everyone, welcome to the Chai Tea Tai Chi web show. Uh, I am one of the hosts, Andrew Brown, and welcoming Dane Dormeo. How you doing, Dane?
I'm doing great. Good to see you tonight, Andrew.
Good to see you too. Been a long day for everybody. COVID's going on, so more power to you. Survive as best you can, everybody. Do what you can. Work with other people. If you don't have money, barter. So tonight we want to talk about we want to talk about high quality movement. So, Dane, why don't you start us off with a basic question? What is high quality?
Yeah, I use this term high quality movement in the sense of movement that's good for you, that's good for your body, and um, something that we recognize and we'd like to help more people recognize in this world is that movement is a fundamental basic physiological need of the body. We all need movement. It's not a luxury, it's not optional, it's not a, if I can get around to it someday. We need it just like we need sleep, we need vitamins and minerals and micronutrients on a daily basis. We need movement. Our bodies need movement. And uh and with that being understood, not all movement is equally good for us. Just like we need food, but not all food is equally good for us. And and just like there's low quality food and there's high quality food, there's also low quality movement and high quality movement. Um, and so the reason I think it's really important to understand this distinction and have this concept in mind is because often we use low quality movement as an excuse for not exercising, and people will say things like, "Oh, I did yard work today, or I cleaned the house, I did housework, so I got my movement in that way. I don't need to exercise." Or people might say, "Oh, I stand all day at my job, so I don't need to get exercise because I get my movement that way." Um, but uh, the thing is, it's not all movement is equally good for you. So even if it's kind of like how junk food will spoil your dinner, you don't want to let low quality movement get in the way of getting the high quality movement that your body needs.
Yeah.
So with basically, it's important to not just get movement in your life on a regular basis, but be conscious that you're getting high quality movement.
Definitely. Yeah, I know low quality movements. We're probably going to go into some examples of them, but a poor movement that doesn't use your muscles, doesn't use your structure properly, repeated over and over every day, like a job where you're doing a lot of intensive labor, that causes injuries and it causes muscle tensions and it causes lots of problems with your body. And over time, there's a reason why people die at 60 because of many years of doing hard labor. It destroys your body. And so if you do the movements properly, using your whole body weight, using your structure, you can prevent a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that is a good point because low quality movement, common examples of low quality movement are physical labor, manual labor type things, and actually a lot of sports in the sense that they're prone to injury, especially as people get older. People can only do them for a certain uh, a certain window of time, and after a certain age, it's just not feasible. And I mean, and depending on how you do it, like running, for example, you running injuries are extremely common, but it's not because running is inherently injurious. It's because some people do it in a poor, inefficient way. So you can run in a way that's bad for your body, or you can run in a way that's good for your body. It's a matter of technique, and so those are all common examples of how people engage in low quality movement.
Mm.
And it does it's either low quality movement either makes it likely that you'll get some kind of acute injury all of a sudden, or the injuries, like you said, build up over time, repetitive stress injuries that accumulate over time, and you don't notice until the damage is done. So
So how would someone
low quality movement pretty much equates to injury.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So how would someone know that we're moving poorly or moving with high quality?
Well, high quality movement is movement that follows the three regulations that we talk about in Qigong. This is the easiest way to conceptualize it if you understand what the three regulations are, being body regulation, breath regulation, mind regulation. So, so for starters, high quality movement involves involves not just the body, but also the breath and the mind. So you're using the breath consciously, you're aware of the breath, and you're using the breath consciously in conjunction with the movement, and you're using the mind as well. You're in a meditative state of awareness. You're aware of what you're doing. If you if you engage in the kind of exercise where you can like watch TV at the same time, you can kind of tune out from what the body's doing. It generally doesn't lend itself to high quality movement because the mind needs to be present with the movement, which doesn't mean maybe you could listen to some music or even an audio book as long as it's kind of on the back channel and you're actually physically present with the movement. That's the mind component has to be there. And then the body regulation component, it's not just about moving, it's about how you move with the qualities of structure, equilibrium, fluidity, and body unity, meaning that you're using the whole body together, you're using the body in a unified way, in an aligned way. You're using it in a way that the stresses are equally distributed across the body. They're not accumulating at any one point, so you're not putting stress and strain on individual parts of the body. And you are using the way the body in a way is biomechanically efficient.
Could you give us a few examples of high quality movements so we can understand? Have a reference point.
Yeah, well, obviously we're talking about qigong or tai chi, which is a form of qigong as a sort of standard for this, and involving the three regulations. So obviously tai chi and qigong are sort of the poster child for high quality movement. Although any type of movement that you do with mindfulness, with breath awareness, could be high quality. Now there's there are a few ways to tell if the movement that you're doing is high quality, whatever it is, which is one very key indicator is that you feel better afterwards than you did before. So after your workout, you shouldn't feel exhausted, you shouldn't feel sore, you shouldn't feel wiped out, you shouldn't feel nauseous. You should feel better. You should feel better and ready to go on with the rest of your day. That's a really good indicator, which is kind of the opposite of what people have been conditioned to look for, with no pain, no gain. But really, it should feel good. If it's good for you, it will feel good. And not just in an individual, over the course of an individual day, but also over time. The more you do it, the better it feels, because it's actually building your body up. It's actually strengthening your body over time, and it feels more and more pleasurable over time as your body adapts. And also, it's using the full capacity of your body, meaning that you're moving through your full range of motion your full range of exertion on a regular basis. So it's if high quality movement is something that's not limited. Like if you were, say, on a particular kind of machine and you're doing the same movement over and over again, um, high quality movement takes you through the full range of motion of what your body's capable of, and also through the full range of exertion.
Yeah, totally. So one thing that comes to my mind is what you were talking about with earlier with intensive labor jobs. So we have a friend who worked at FedEx, and it only took maybe 2 months before he was burned out because they have to lift so many boxes every day. And if you're lifting with using your back muscles instead of using your leg muscles, stabilizing your spine, and then using your core and using your legs to lift the weight, you can put a lot of stress on your back, especially your lower back. A lot of people get lower back injuries. Sitting at work all day in a desk chair with hunched over, with your neck bent. People develop hunchbacks. These are forms of low quality movements and postures. And so we should be ever vigilant with our posture, with our movement. Notice your breath with every single move you're making. That's something that's very important that comes with meditation. It comes with Tai Chi practice. So, Dane, how would you go about helping people learn how to move with high quality movement?
Well, of course, we have an online learning community you can join if you want to learn about this type of stuff. If you want to go deep with your own personal daily mind-body energetic hygiene practice and learn all about the 3 regulations as well as the non-exertion principle and the pleasure principle, which are the foundations of Qigong and high quality movement generally. We take a very principle-based approach. It's not about learning the specific techniques and choreography as it is about learning the principles and the kinesthetic indicators, tuning your sensitivity so that your sensitivity and your awareness so that you can be mindful of how you're using your body, and also developing the the daily practice. Because especially if you have a job that requires you to sit a lot, or that requires you, like if you're driving a lot, or driving a desk, or if you're doing something very repetitive, some kind of very repetitive movement, it's all the more important that you have your own personal daily mind-body energetic hygiene practice that includes high quality movement, so that you are able to, if nothing else, just maintain the level of health and fitness that you have. Because if you at a bare minimum, it's not like you have to be a professional athlete. This is just about maintaining your health. Just like taking a bath every day is about maintaining your level of cleanliness. If you don't, it won't. So just maintaining the level of fitness and wellness that you currently have. This is an absolute requirement. And if you I hate to say it, if you're not doing this, you're gonna notice over time, if you haven't already, that your physical capacity diminishes, your strength, your endurance, your range of motion. They're all going to go downhill if you don't use them regularly. So that's really what this is about.
Yeah, totally, man. One of the things I've noticed with a lot of students that I've received over the years is that people come to Tai Chi and Qigong after they've lost something, after they've gotten to the point where their balance isn't there, where they can't walk very far, and they can't go upstairs and stuff like that. They come to Tai Chi to get it back. And I want to recommend it right now. Start before that happens. Do not let that happen to you. It's such a long road after you've lost that stuff. The basic functions of when you're 35, if you don't exercise for 20 years, you start to lose them. It doesn't take much. I've seen it in a lot of my senior engineers and companions at work. They stopped doing the things that kept them using their full range of motion. They stopped doing high quality movements. They started just focusing on surviving the day and like getting home to their families. And if you don't put in that time for yourself, you're going to be too weak to support someone else. So strive.
Yeah, totally. I mean, in our culture, it's just to exercise and things like that. It's kind of considered optional. A lot of people, it would be nice if I could do it, but I don't really have time. So yeah, I'm just gonna and the result is, let the years, the decades go by, and soon enough, you're not going to be able to lift your arm above your shoulder if you never do. That's just how the body works. And it's kind of the way psychology and human nature works, that just like you said, we tend to not appreciate things until we start to lose them. And whether it's our eyesight and our hearing, or it's our flexibility and range of motion, or our ability to climb the stairs without getting out of breath. And so as much as possible, we want to encourage people to not just think about maintaining this stuff before you start to lose it. Think about, I mean, if you're young now, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, think about what if you actually start working now to maintain the level of health that you have, and into your 50s, your 60s, and beyond, because it's totally possible. We see people do it all the time, and so the earlier you start, the better. And you don't have to wait until you start to lose these capacities before you make this kind of practice a regular part of your life. So we encourage you to do that, and we're here to help.
Yeah, sweat every day and eat whole foods. You'll be okay. All right, Dane, thanks for teaching us tonight, and very, very pleased to have you with me every week. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. We look forward to another episode next week.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Really great discussion. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time.
All right. Peace.
Bye.